Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Sacha and this is Alice, and we're here to guide you through a yin practice today. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry, you could grab yourself some pillows, something comfy that will adequately support the body. And we're going to begin today in a supported inversion, legs up the wall pose. If you do have a wall available, you might even like to prop up against that. But if not, don't worry. We're just going to elevate the legs. We're starting with your prop underneath the lower back, so the pelvis is supported. And as you elevate the legs, you can keep a softness in the knees here. The feet could be floppy and relaxed. Maybe the arms are open out nice and wide with the palms of the hands facing up. It's a really beautiful pose to allow any fluids that might have been retained in the feet or ankles to drain, and sending a fresh flow of blood into the heart. A really great way to also soothe and calm down the nervous system. Let's just start to get acquainted with the body. And feeling into any subtle sensations that are becoming prominent and noticeable now. The weight of the head, the shoulders and the pelvis. The way that the bones stack. You might be beginning to feel that sensation through the back of the legs and the hamstrings. And we'll be predominantly focusing on the superficial backline of the body today. I'm taking a moment here to connect in with the breath. You don't need to change it or manipulate it in any way, but just start to become aware of it. Feel the body breathe. And I invite you to develop this intimate relationship with the breath during your yin practice. And you can use it as an anchor if the shape is strong, or if you're a little busy in the mind, you can really use it to ground yourself into a state of presence. We'll take just one more minute here. Whenever you're ready, very slowly start to bend the knees. Eventually, the feet will meet the earth. You can take your time. You're probably going to feel that blood flow rush back down into the feet now. It might feel a little strange or foreign, just feeling into that sensation. And then we'll lift the hips and slide the prop out from underneath the lower back. You can come down onto the mat and perhaps you give your knees a nice big hug in towards the chest here. Give yourself a squeeze. Maybe there's a gentle rock from side to side, a massage for the spine. And then reaching the arms up overhead, and you can roll off to your favorite side and then begin to press yourself up into a seat to face the front of your mat. And we're going to come onto the knees from here and take broken toe pose or fire toes. Doesn't sound too desirable. It's one of my personal favorites though, but we'll continue working with the back line of the body here. So we're going to tuck under the toes. If you do have a block or your pillow, your bolster available here, to offload some of the weight, if this is quite strong, you might just rest the hands down on top. You could also prop something underneath the sit bones as well. You can make it a little more easeful. Or, taking the weight of the pelvis back into the heels. The hands can rest on the thighs. And allowing the structure of the bones to stack. And perhaps accessing the breath to find a little more softness here physically as well as mentally. We're stressing the plantar fascia underneath the soles of the feet. This can be quite foreign for a lot of us. And see if you can relax into it a little further, even 5 or 10% more. It was just a short yin practice today, so you've been saved here for holding too long. When you're ready, you can release. So bring the weight of your body into the hands. And just untuck the toes. And just stay here for a moment and feel into that resonance of energy in the feet. Any tingling or vibration. And this is what we call the rebound effect of our Yin Yoga practice. And you can even tap out the feet here. Give them a little pitter-patter on the mat. And we'll stay in this shape. We're going to give ourselves a bit of a massage. So taking the right shin behind the left knee. We're going to use the shin to massage the calf. So dropping the sit bones back towards the heels and then rocking forward. And then just working the shin down the left calf. We're improving the blood flow in this area before we head into the next shape. As you work your way down towards the ankle, you can even give the hips a little rock side to side if that feels good. And eventually making your way back up the calf, behind the knee. And when you're ready, switching over. So we don't need any fancy props, we can use our own bod for this. And you choose how much pressure to apply. And making your way back up. And then releasing when you're ready. And let's sweep the legs out in front. Now if you do have a block or a book, you might prop it underneath the sitting bones here. If you're a little tight in the hip, that could assist you. We're going to come into caterpillar pose. A few options here. You might like to place your prop over the thighs, coming into a forward fold. You could stack your props to support the forehead. I like to create that sense of support here so that the upper body can relax. And just release the jaw, release the shoulders. Second option is to take the bolster underneath the knees. So I'll demonstrate that one for you. You might like to focus on your exhalations here, and that'll encourage the nervous system to calm. You're finding a little more softness here. The yin really is all about letting go. And that's why we use our props to support the structure of the shape, so the muscles can relax and we can access these really intricate areas called connective tissues. They're made up of ligaments, and tendons, and fascia. You really get nice and deep into the physicality of our own body. And this practice also allows us to lean in and get a little deeper with ourselves, a more intimate relationship that we're able to create through observation. Here, focusing on the superficial backline of the body, also leaning into a sense of introspection. These forward folds are really nurturing and nourishing. As the body starts to relax, you're welcome to adjust your props as you need. Removing or shifting the shape. If there's space that's created, you're welcome to move into that open space. Could you relax here even 5 or 10% more? Just take a smooth breath in through the nose. Releasing exhale through the mouth. Begin to unravel the body. We'll lower down onto the mat, taking a mini shavasana. You might choose to place your prop off to the side. You can keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze. Resting pose. A moment here to feel into that residual energy I was talking about earlier. Taking time to let that sensation subside, coming back to a place of neutrality. You're welcome to give the knees a hug in towards the chest. Any movement that feels good, flushing. And then gently making your way back up into a seat. Facing the front of the mat, and we'll set up for the next shape. I'm going to take deer pose. Actually, we'll face at the long edge of the mat. So we're going to place the right leg in front and fold the left leg back. So I'll actually turn to face this side. And we'll take the bolster, short edge, adjacent to the right hip. So just make sure you have space at home. You can just configure the body as you need to. And we're going to turn to face the bolster. So you're framing it with the hands. You might have something wedged underneath the left hip if you'd like more support here. And when you're ready, you can start to fold down onto the bolster. And if it feels okay for the neck, maybe turning the head as if you're peering over your right shoulder. Placing the left cheek down, that'll take you a little deeper into the twist. So the beauty of this yin practice is that we create space to slow down and to observe. Kind of this inner exploration, this inner journey. And perhaps finding ways that we can self-soothe. And one of the biggest tools that we can use and we can access is the breath. So as you focus on the breath, feel the body relax and allow the mind to calm. Just take a breath in through the nose. Smooth exhale out through the mouth. If you turn the head, placing the right cheek down. And then very slowly pressing yourself up into a seat. And you can extend the legs, send them out in front of you. And let's just take a moment here to rest the weight of the body back into the hands. The shoulders might rise, the back can round, Again, just a moment here in a resting pose to drop into that rebound effect. As we become really intimate with ourselves, we start to tap into these subtleties and the intricacies within us. And maybe noticing any differences between left and right at this moment in time. Without critique or judgment, just simply noticing. And then we'll move into the other side. Holding the left leg in front and the right leg back. You might even like to take a hold of the calf with the thumb and peel it open. And for sure, you will adjust your bolster and you can adjust your position on the mat. It doesn't matter where you're facing as long as you have space. The short edge alongside the left hip. Turning to face it and then bowing in. Again, turning the head if that feels okay for the neck. Allow the bones to become a little heavier. As if you're completely surrendering the weight of yourself to the earth. Allowing gravity to assist you. And receiving deep breath. How can you self-soothe here? Finding a greater sense of easefulness physically, mentally, emotionally. Could you let go even 5 or 10% more? It's often not until we take a step back and we slow down, we really realize just how much tension we're holding on to. Let's take a breath in through the nose. And a releasing breath out through the mouth. Perhaps placing the left cheek down if the head is turned. And slowly making your way up into a seat. You can keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze. We're going to lower down this time onto the mat. So you might roll your bolster your proper way and come down into Shavasana. In a moment here in your resting pose to feel, to experience the subtle body. all guiding us closer towards ourselves. If it feels good, maybe a hug of the knees towards the chest now. It could be happy baby. Perhaps grabbing a hold of the sides of the feet or the big toes. And any flushing or movements that feel good to reset. And when you're ready, making your way back up into a seat. And then let's find our next shape. We'll take the soles of the feet together. And you can place the bolster over the feet or your pillow. If the knees are quite sensitive, maybe there's books or blocks underneath the legs here. So supporting the knees with the thighs. And you come back into a forward fold. You could stack the palms of the hands, you could open out the arms. You want to take it a little deeper, the bolster or your prop might be further in front of the feet. So whatever feels right for you today. Each day, this might vary. Keeping that sense of compassion and integrity here in your practice. Really honoring how you're showing up in this moment. And notice here if you're gripping, or tensing. With your breath, could you find a little more softness? As we work with the superficial back line today, predominantly in the practice, allows us to access the organs of our kidney and urinary bladder. And the meridians or energy channels that target these specific organs are connected to the elemental quality of water. With a sense of introspection, also have the ability to find that sense of fluidity and flushing, releasing and letting go. You're welcome to remove or adjust the props as you need. If the body permits, sinking in a little deeper. Let's take a breath in through the nose. And release out through the mouth. Begin to gently roll up the spine. And shift your props off to one side. And you can use the hands to assist the legs, slide them long. And let's just take a moment in this resting shape with the hands behind the back. Rebound. And just allow the feet to flop naturally outwards. And if it feels good, you could bend up the knees and just take a little windscreen wiper of the knees from side to side. Release the hips. And we're going to slide the legs long for our next shape and set up with our pillow or our bolster behind the back. We're coming into a supported fish. The sit bones will stay in connection to the earth and allowing the body to melt over your prop. If the head is hovering, there might be something supporting the skull. And you're welcome to adjust or remove the props at any time. You can open the arms wide. And after all of those introspective, folded, closed shapes, you feel into that sense of expansion and openness now. Allowing the body to breathe naturally. And with each exhale, becoming a little softer. If you'd like a further opening for the hips, you're welcome to slide the soles of the feet together, taking a butterfly shape with the legs. A few more moments here. I'm going to gently roll off to one side so you can bend the knees. Take a fetal shape and then just slide your props out from underneath you and make your way down onto the back. You're welcome to take a hug of the knees to the chest or that happy baby pose shape. Anything else that feels good. If movement calls you taking it mindfully. Making our descent now towards Shavasana, our final resting pose. When you're ready, you can slide the legs long. You might use your bolster or pillow to support the legs here, so perhaps sliding it underneath the knees. If you do experience any discomfort in the lower back, in the lumbar spine, that might be a nice option for you. Could even feel nice to place the bolster over the thighs for a feeling of weightedness, or anchoring the body down. Positioning the arms away from the body, palms of the hands facing up. As a symbolic gesture of being open to receiving all of the benefits of your practice. Subconsciously integrating. Giving the weight of your body to the earth. Allowing the earth to receive your body. And completely surrender. You're welcome to stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need. Eventually you might make your way up into a seat or join me now. You could roll the bolster away with the feet. You can keep the eyes closed or crack them open to a soft gaze. And let's meet here with the hands at the heart center. Thumbs connecting to the sternum. And bowing the head down towards the heart. A moment to honor yourself in the practice. And this time and space that you've carved out for yourself to really nourish and nurture you. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Namaste.